Yes, hello guys, and welcome back to the break room. Today I want to talk about the upcoming match between Granada and Barcelona. That's going to be played on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some players that have been really shining for me in the past couple of days. So let's get into it. I want to bring our attention to a player that has been showing up again. The player is none other than Umtiti himself. I know there's been people in the past that have said the club should sell him. He's missed a lot of games due to injury, but he's always been a fighter. He's always been strong mentally, and he's shown this in recent games. Of course, his comeback will be well monitored. There'd be no sense in putting him at risk now. He's been cleared medically to play in recent matches. We saw his first full game appearance against Granada, of course, and that was about 3 weeks ago, and he looked really good then. But there's some thought of uncertainty as he's made an appearance because of Araujo's slight touch on his leg during the warm-up, if you remember, in that match. But after that, we didn't see him for the Supercopa semifinals or the finals, which I think was because of the high profile of the matches. But he's been showing up in the last 3 La Liga matches, and in those 3 matches, he's been displaying his fighting spirit and his desire to be part of the team. And I just wanted to highlight this and give credit where credit is due. Another player that I want to talk about is Pedri. I've got to really praise Pedri for his performance against Bilbao. He had an insane 12 plus recoveries in the last match, setting a league record. He's a pleasure to watch, and he is a magician with his feet and also with his football vision. He had an incredible performance, but he's still young, and I think he's feeling fatigue of playing constantly. I think he's been showing signs of being gassed out towards the end of matches, but he does have a lot of heart, and so he tries his best to provide what the club needs. Right now, the club is looking strong, but it's not enough to just have talent, which Pedri does not lack. But at this point in football, there's got to be hard work. And Pedri, man, he's been showing his hard work and determination, and that speaks volume to how much he loves this club and how much he wants to see it go in the right direction. I think coming in from the match on Sunday, I don't really see him starting in the game against Granada, but I do think that he's going to come on later on to play. And now, moving on to the man who's been on fire recently, it's Frankie. He's very much in form, and he's been playing fantastic football. The past couple of matches, De Jong has been the face of Barcelona, and his picture is just printed on magazines across Spain. So he scored 4 goals in the month of January across all competitions, and I've got to praise his late runs into the 6-yard box and working hard to get in those positions. This past match, we didn't really see those late runs. Busquets there wasn't able to play the match against Bilbao, picking up a yellow card in the match against Elche, and because of that, he was playing in a much deeper role. It was instead Pjanic who picked up that role that makes those runs into the 18, and he actually had a good chance getting a header off on target, which was blocked away by the keeper. But this just goes to show that De Jong has reached one of his best forms, and he can play different midfield positions, and I hope that he continues this good form throughout the year. Another man that is reaching his former self is Ousmane Dembele. Overcoming his injury, he has been featured more and more frequently, and I just gotta say, he's been fun to watch. Yes, I'll admit that most of the time he does dribble into way too many defenders and he loses possession of the ball, but on the flip side to that coin, he's very, very dangerous. He's always causing so much trouble in those dangerous areas, and the defenders, they know this. If they give him space, he has the ability to make them pay. And we've seen before, and I hope we see it again soon. But we've also seen that instead of driving into defenders like he normally does, he does a smart thing. He passes to a teammate, and this gives Barça a different attacking dimension. And I also have to talk about the amount of defensive work Dembele put in the last match against Bilbao. Right throughout the match, he was there helping Mingueza out. All that hard work has been really paying off, and it really showed that night, and that alone deserves major props. And yes, we finally get to Messi, and the disaster that has unfolded. No doubt we all know about what happened, and it seems to come at the most convenient time, right as Barca are finding themselves again. I really don't want to speak in detail about it. I find it completely disrespectful, and there's a reason Messi himself doesn't want to talk about it. He said it before. He doesn't want any of his personal dealings with the club to be leaked again, and I feel that he has every right to feel any way he wants, whether that's to leave or stay, be angry or be upset, and I think anybody can relate to that. Messi has given more to this club than any other player before, and the club owes it to him to respect his wishes. And I just want to say that this leak is 100% intentional and with the purpose to quote unquote ruin him and damage his image with the club. But like a good spirited person that he is and a complete professional, his response was on the field. He answered all his critics by scoring a phenomenal free kick. He worked hard for the victory, and you could actually see it. He actually had drive and determination. He was always looking for the ball. He made runs. He really felt in the mood to play, and he did send a message. And the message was he was not going to fall into the hands that want to play him. And despite what the board has done, he still has love for the club. And now that we've gone in depth into what happened last match, let's take a look at how Koeman can possibly line up the squad for the Copa del Rey quarterfinals. If we take a look at the back line, I think as center backs we could see Langley and Araujo. It looks like Koeman wants to save Umtiti for La Liga matches, which is where he's made most of his appearances in. We know how much of a solid wall Araujo has been, and nobody has dribbled past him since he started playing for the team. We saw Firpo in the lineup in the victory over Vallecano last week, so I think he might be starting there in left back again. I know he hasn't had a good spell recently, but I do think that he'll be in the lineup on Wednesday. And there's been news regarding Dest. It seems that he's been cleared for action and should be included in Koeman's plans. I don't really think he's going to start, but he could. I'm not too sure, and if he doesn't start, then most likely he'll be featured on later on in the match. But that spot is a little iffy. That could be Dest or it could be Mingueza again that would take that right back position. And in midfield, I think Frankie is going to be there in that holding position. I think it'll be Pjanic again and Ricky Puig. Puig has really shown his quality with the few minutes that he has played, so I think he'll be there in the starting 11. And in the top three, I think it'll be Griezmann, Braithwaite, and Trincao. I think Trincao showed a lot more confidence against Vallecano, and you can see that he really does want to be part of the team. And last of all, I don't think Messi is going to be in the starting lineup, but I do think he's going to come in as the match progresses. And if we take a look at the team that we are up against, it's Granada. We played against them on the 9th of January, and we did get a 4-0 victory over them. I don't think this match is going to be a rollover. I don't think we should think of it as a rollover match. They are a strong team, and I think going into this match, we can't underestimate anyone. The team, more than anyone, knows this and knows what could happen if they take a side too lightly. Of course, we want the team to win, but any slip-up could end up costing us. I do believe, however, that we have momentum going for the team. With all that's been happening, I think the team showed that they are united. We saw that in the celebrations with Messi and Griezmann, the whole team just gathered together, they celebrated together, and I think that speaks volume to how united this team is now. I'm really excited for how things are going right now. So with all that said, what do you guys think? What are your predictions? And most importantly, let's get that win and move on to the semifinals. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys again for the match review.